Log kya kahenge? This is in Hindi, and then in Gujarati is badahu kya hai?
I remember for our wedding, there was somebody that my mom wanted me to invite, and I said no. And we had a little disagreement about it. I said, Mom, I'm not inviting these people.
If they haven't done it themselves, don't take advice from them.
Oh.
Family opinions are overrated. Aunties are too Aunties.
Aunties?
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Mr. White Man.
I got an engineering degree, but I don't like anything about it. Your parents are children. Your parents don't have the same experiences as you. Indian food is not healthy, people. There's a lot of oil in there. There's a lot of fats in there. There's a lot of things that you should not be eating every single day. I ate rice, dal, saag every day.
When we first met, it was really hard for you to talk about your feelings.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I was like, oh my God, what are these things inside of me?
What is going on? Why is my girlfriend telling me how she feels? That's also like a man's problem.
Indian parents will be like really mad at you if you go eat out. Like eating out is the worst possible thing to them sometimes.
Oh my gosh, what if it's controversial? Or what if they think different about me? Or what if they don't like me anymore? Like,
did you know your son is doing this? Did you know your daughter is doing this? And I saw your daughter in the car with another man. And I'm like, what?
Uh-oh, that's an unpopular opinion.
This week, we're talking about unpopular Desi opinions. That's right. From realizing eating Indian food at home doesn't mean it's healthy, to navigating mental health stigmas, to dealing with those damn nosy aunties. Let's get into it, Half Past Crew. This episode is sponsored by Autonomy, but more on that later. Welcome to
Half Past Cha.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of Half Past Ja. We're your hosts. My name is K2.
My name is Hallie.
If you can't already tell, we're a married interracial couple, and that's what we talk about in this podcast. We talk about being an interracial couple. We talk about relationships in general, and then we get questions from you because you guys go to www.halfpastchai.com. We release new podcast episodes every single Monday, so if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Like this video. And if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please give us 5 stars and follow the podcast so then you are notified. Thank you so much for joining us on this fantastic Monday. Half Past Crew, settle in, get cozy, and grab your cha. We actually have cha today, and it's fantastic.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't know. I'm trying different techniques, guys. If you out there make cha, please let me know how you make it. And how I can consistently make it the same way, because I'm not doing that. It's so hard. It's like I find myself getting into a rhythm and it feels good. It feels natural. I let her do her thing. And then there are just some days, like today, it just doesn't turn out exactly how I want it. I don't know how everyone does it.
It doesn't matter, because guess what? Cha is cha. And cha makes me happy. So happy.
Yeah,
I'm feeling good today.
Yeah, I know. I can tell. The entire time leading up to actually hitting record here, guys, he's been crazy. Even all day today, he's been crazy.
And Hallie's had to deal with it all. We're going to do some unpopular Desi opinions. I'm so excited. This isn't just like Desi opinion, but like unpopular opinions in general. Mm-hmm. So if you're not Desi, don't worry. We care about you too.
Yeah. I'm not.
Yeah, she's really not. She's like whiter than a popsicle.
I'm super white. Oh my gosh, do we even say that at the beginning?
What?
I'm Indian. I'm super white.
Yeah, we don't say that anymore. We kind of like let go of it.
Oh my gosh, no, that's like a whole part of our thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just had that. I had that realization. I had that. That's so Raven moment where I was like,
so should we add it back in? Let me know.
Yeah.
Number 1, if you are eating at home, that does not mean it's always healthy.
Tell us more, Suke, too.
Indian food is not healthy, people.
Not okay.
Not all of it's healthy. All right. There's a lot of oil in there. There's a lot of fats in there. There's a lot of things that you should not be eating every single day, such as carby rice. That is just carbs in general.
Suke, too. I have a question.
What?
What did you grow up eating every single day?
I ate rice, dal, saag every day. There was not one day, guys, not one day I did not have rice, dal, bhat, saag. There was not one freaking day. I cannot recall a day where I did not eat that. I mean, the saag was different. Like, so sometimes mangni dal no saag, sometimes tomato no saag, bataka no saag. It was all kinds of different saag.
Okay, explain more so the regular American people understand what you're eating every day.
So it's just rice with lentils on top. And the lentils give you protein, yes.
Or
But-
like vegetables.
Not enough. Not enough protein. And the carbiness of it is so like there's so much carbs. And there's like a big phenomenon in Indian culture where we just eat too much carbs. And that's why sometimes we have there's a little bit of belly that forms when you eat too much carbs.
Well, for any food, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you ever get tired of eating that?
I did. I didn't realize it. Like now I miss eating dal bhat sometimes.
Mhm.
And I love eating it when we go to India and stuff, but I could never eat that every day.
You ate it for, correct me if I'm wrong, lunch and dinner every day.
Yeah.
Okay, walk us through, just because I think people will be interested in this, walk us through your breakfast, lunch, and dinner growing up.
Breakfast, I'd eat cha and cereal. Don't judge. That's all I had. Cha and Honey Nut Cheerios, all right?
Starting off strong.
And then for lunch, if it was at home, it'd be dal bhat, just dal bhat. That's it. Just rice and dal, which dal is just lentils. And then for dinner, it'd be shak and rotli. So it'd be like batakano sak with
Potatoes.
rotli.
Yeah.
And then
Or tomatoes.
yeah, tomatoes.
shak.
I loved Vengar batakano sak, which is eggplant and potatoes.
The
those-
best.
So it's like that was my meal. If I went to school, I'd have like, normal school lunch. Sometimes it'll be Lunchable. Sometimes it'd be like grilled cheese or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So that was it was nice to have a little change in there, but that's still not enough of the protein and the vegetables that I should have been eating. And I mean, vegetables at night for sak and everything. But
I only bring it up because I didn't realize how funny that was until we had friends who told us that was not their situation. I just thought that was a very normal experience. But then, like, two of our friends, they're in California, we were staying with them, and they're like, wait, so Kate, you ate DBSR every single day? And you're like, yeah. And they thought that was so fun. I realized then just how funny it was because I was like, wait, you ate the same thing? I mean, I know there are different variations of it, and I know that it, like, your mom loves making that, and no disrespect at all from my side. But the fact that you ate so much of that, well, you didn't know how to cook. So,
the crazy thing is some people will go through that for their whole lives. I didn't. I got out of it, right?
I mean, it's delicious. Again, no disrespect, because when I'm in India, that is all I am eating.
But the unpopular opinion about it is that it is not healthy to eat that every single day. It's just not. And a lot of times, like your parents, this is just from my perspective. It's not all Indian parents, but a lot of times Indian parents will be like really mad at you if you go eat out. Like eating out is the worst possible thing to them sometimes. And so eating at home is always a better alternative. Eating at home is cheaper, it's healthier, blah, blah, blah. You hear these things that are said to you. It is not always true. It is not always true because the things you eat at home sometimes are not the best. I'm not saying eating out is any better, but I'm just saying there are things you can eat out that are actually kind of good for you.
I feel like there might be some people that are upset by that.
Yeah, well, that's why it's an unpopular opinion. Let me know what your comments are down below because I want to have a discussion / argument with you.
No, see, I hate when you do that. Suketu is always like, I love having arguments with people. I love telling people what they need to know. And I'm like, dude, not everybody wants that.
Why do you think we have a podcast? Excuse me.
Oh,
it's my
oh my gosh.
opportunity to thrive.
No, okay, that is just, you got a big superiority complex
Yes, I
there.
do. Okay, give me number 2.
Number 2. I don't want to say this.
Say it out loud.
Your parents aren't always right, and you don't always have to listen to them.
Your parents are children. Your parents don't have the same experiences as you. Some might say that you are smarter than your parents.
We grew up in, okay, if you think about it, think about the age gap between us and our parents. We grew up in 2 completely different worlds.
They grew up
Experiences are very different.
without a lot of the resources we have.
Yeah.
And when my parents ask me something, I'll probably know the answer to it. But when I ask my parents something, they usually don't know the answer to it because they never got the resources that we have in terms of looking up information, retaining that information. Like they just had they used to look at books to find information. Remember I don't know, maybe I'm kind of old, but whenever we were in school, when we had to look up the definition of a word, we had to go into the dictionary to look it up. And now kids nowadays don't even have to do that. They probably don't even know how to look through a dictionary.
Probably not. Do they even have those anymore?
Did you look through dictionaries to look up the words?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you're old.
So are you. You're literally like 28. You're almost 30 at this point.
Let's go back to the topic of discussion. Your parents aren't always right, and that's okay, right?
Again, we grew up in two completely different worlds. They're like, I was just talking to my parents about this, and I was asking, we were at Thanksgiving, and I was asking, what is everyone's favorite age that they've been in their life so far? And my parents said, like 1920s, whatever. So that would have been in the 80s, right? They loved the 80s. I would venture to say your parents probably feel the same way. They were in India. They were happy. Like everything was different. And that is such an age. Obviously, it's kind of the age that we're at right now. I'm 26 and you're borderline 30 or 40.
Okay, let's calm down.
But again, it's important to understand that with this one, yeah, you don't always have to listen to them because you have those new experiences or those different experiences that they don't necessarily have. Like we grew up in a world with technology for starters. That's a huge one that they didn't really have. Like even watching Stranger Things, if you guys are Stranger Things fans, we watched that show and we're like, they just have walkie-talkies. There's no cell phones. Like the world is not as accessible as it is now. No maps. Yeah, like how do they know where they're going? Like one could argue that this generation is dumber than a lot of things, but we're smarter in different ways, and so are our parents' generation. So it all kind of balances out. It's just the way of the world, guys.
I think if you have a gut feeling that what you're doing is the right thing and your parents are telling you not to do it, I would venture to say sometimes you should go follow what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say on that one.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
This episode is sponsored by Autonomy. Autonomy's mission is to build the healthiest generation of South Asians out there through life-changing body and health transformation. Nathan's been working with the South Asian community for over 7 years, and he's mastered the understanding of the South Asian body, culture, and lifestyle. Wherever you are in the world, you will have access to this South Asian coaching. I'm actually part of it right now. I've already seen so much progress within the last 2 months. I think the biggest thing for me is definitely the diet. I didn't know how many calories I was eating and how important that really is to be able to lose fat but also gain muscle. So if you're interested, make sure you click the link in the description below. Thanks again to Autonomy. Number 3, cha is best in the morning.
It is.
Unpopular opinion, apparently.
Listen, I think about this one because there are so many people that say, oh, it's 4 p.m. Did you know it's 4 p.m.? It's time to have cha. I think it's best in the morning. I don't like having it in the afternoon, even though I'm kind of contradicting that right now with us drinking cha, and it is kind of late in the day.
Oh, 5:30. Well, there we go.
I know.
Not sleeping tonight.
No, it'll make me sleep well, trust. But I would like to know if you watching this or listening to this, if whether it be cha, coffee, like caffeine, anything, are you more of a morning person or an afternoon person? Because personally, I love having cha in the morning, and then if we do have a second round of caffeine around like 2:30, 1 or 2:30, whatever, I like that to be coffee. So
I like it. I like having coffee later in the day.
yeah,
I don't like it in the morning particularly because cha just tastes better.
it's not like also okay. If you think about it, there's a difference between black coffee people in the morning because a lot of people like to just drink coffee black, like not super sweet. I think that's what it ultimately comes down to. I don't like having sweet things in the morning. It takes me a little while to wake up, and then maybe after lunch, after that slump when I'm starting to feel a little sleepy, that's when I need to have a little boost of caffeine. And it can be a latte, it can be a cold brew. I don't hate.
All right, well, let us know down if you agree with us. Number 4, what is it, Hallie?
Bollywood songs and dance numbers are way too long.
Yeah, I can't handle it. First of all, I can't even watch a musical. It was very, I mean, I haven't even seen Wicked, but watching the movie Spirited was painful. Watching any movie, Indian movie, I'll just skip through the dancing numbers. Like, oh my God, like stop dancing every 10 minutes. Like we just watched Galhonaho and every 10 minutes there's a freaking number. I'm like, come on.
Which you have to admire the craft and creativity that goes into that. Okay, that's not what I'm trying to disrespect at all.
I love them.
Yes.
But I love them for a minute.
Yeah,
And
I think.
then it goes on for 6 to 7 minutes and I'm like, there's
Didn't
no
we
way
see this before?
you can say the chorus 12 times. There's just no way.
Yeah, I think we're just not big musical people. I kind of hate to put this out there, but I know one other person that's in the same boat as me, but we have not seen Wicked. Don't come at us.
I just
please.
I can't do musicals. I'm so sorry. There's just no way.
It's on Peacock. I'm probably going to give it a watch on a Sunday when I don't really have anything going on.
What's
Maybe
another
having
musical that we have watched?
Well, Spirited. Oh my gosh. That's a
so
Christmas movie and that was irritating. I can't watch that again. Or even like Disney movies, Disney princess movies. I'm not big into those. See, this isn't even Bollywood specific. Like we said, this is pretty general for things. This maybe or maybe not an unpopular opinion because a lot of people love Wicked. So I don't know how people will feel if they think that musical numbers are too long or too short. Or I don't know.
But then there's also like the Bollywood songs in general. Yeah, we need to shorten those down to normal lengths, like 3 minutes to 4 minutes, because why do you need to sing the same thing over and over again for 6 minutes to 7 minutes?
If you look at the Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum album, each song is like 5 to 7 minutes long.
Bruh, like calm
Which
down.
I listen to it. All right. I do. But
I don't have
for
time
any
for that.
song, yeah, I just start to get a little bored. Love them. I love them, but I do get bored. Next.
Number 5, family opinions are overrated. Aunties are too Aunties. Sorry.
I'm sorry, Mr. White Man.
All right, whatever. Aunties are too nosy. All right. So family opinions are overrated. Aunties are too nosy.
The Aunties. That was cute.
I
That
think
was funny.
that family opinions matter when you want them to matter, and they don't matter when you don't want them to matter.
I'm a firm believer that nothing really matters.
See,
for anything.
when there are too many brains giving you solutions, and especially if that is family that's giving you things in your, like putting things in your brain, just be careful about what is happening. Just there is a tone to it. There is a stigma to it where you need to do your own research, and sometimes you are a little smarter than them.
Why
Not
are
just
you saying it like
family,
that?
but I'm just saying like in general.
If there are too many opinions around you, it's easy for those to cloud your judgment. I think when you have people that you love telling you something and maybe different than how you perceive something, then it's really easy to listen to them and not fully form your own opinion. I have been guilty of that, especially growing up. When you're young, it's really, really easy to not stand strong on your own personal opinion and let others influence you to think a certain way.
I have this. This is the perfect thing to say in this situation. If they haven't done it themselves, don't take advice from them.
Oh.
One thing I learned is I was taking advice from people who had never done what I wanted to do. And then I started taking advice from people who had made it in the field that I want to be in. And it changed my whole life. Whenever I started to listen to those people, I actually went somewhere. And whenever I listened to the people who were just telling me things they probably heard somebody else say, I never got anywhere because it's not factual information. It's just repeated by somebody else who might or might not have made it in life. And so that's just something that is very important to realize when you are getting advice from people.
That deserves an applause. I was going to put the volume up. I think it's the last one, but I didn't want to do anything crazy and mess up your speech. So what do you have to, that was great, by the way, but what do you have to say for the second part of this, which is aunties are a little bit too nosy at times?
This is starting to be fixed a little bit. We actually have aunties who are fans of us. Do you know how many aunties have come up to me and Hallie and we're like, oh my God, we love Half Past Chai, like love the conversations you're having. And I'm like, look at us. We're changing the narrative to what people are saying, thinking, doing. And I love it. I want more of this. I want more people to realize that it is not good to talk behind your back. And it's not good to tell your people who are younger than you that they're doing things wrong. It's not good. So in terms of aunties being too nosy, I think it is changing, but when a person that you know who is an auntie, uncle, or whatever, and then they call your parents and they're like, "Hey, did you know your son is doing this? Did you know your daughter is doing this? And I saw your daughter in the car with another man." And I'm like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, calm down, all right? Sorry that you didn't get to experience life when you were younger." That's all I gotta say about aunties being nosy.
Well, I think, listen, again, like you said, I think not just us, but a lot of people, a lot of conversations are happening that are paving the way for people to act differently. And I think the biggest message that we want people to receive from our platform and from our podcast is to always be kind, and that you have the option every day to be a good person moving forward and to be kind to somebody and to extend that kindness to others around you. And I think it's really special that we've met so many people. Oh my gosh, so many people that either aunties or anybody who's a fan of the show, and they get something from it and it inspires them and it just is a positive force in their lives. And it makes me really, really happy. So I'm really happy to hear you say that again, because I forget that sometimes when we're doing stuff, that this actually does have an impact on people and that people get something from it and that we're learning stuff too. And that means a lot to me. So I just want to extend that. I think it is really changing the narrative and changing the conversation, and people are being kinder. And that's not just to us, obviously, but because of the way of the world, right? Things are different. People are becoming nicer and more loving and more open, and I think that's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah, I love it. All right, let's go to the next one. Living with your in-laws doesn't have to be the only way. Wow, what a shock.
What a hole.
What a hole.
Home Alone 2, anybody? That was not a sexual thing that I just said.
Go watch Home Alone 2 now, because you need to understand the joke. This topic of living with your in-laws doesn't have to be the only way is only applying to the parents who can take care of themselves. There are parents out there who cannot. There's ones that moved here way too late in life, whether they're like in their 40s, 50s, and they can't understand some of the systems that are that exist here in America. You know, banking online and having to pay your bills with your credit card and all these things. Like, there's so many things that older generation of parents just don't know how to do. And so then you have to take care of those certain things. And there's alternative situations where you can have a house with a basement with an in-law suite. That's another option. There's ways to do like family compounds, but you gotta have the money to do that kind of stuff. But there's other ways to go about it. But let's for this specific unpopular opinion, we're going to go about the fact that, hey, your parents are here. They understand. They have their own house. They are functioning humans in the world of the United States of America, Canada, anywhere in the world besides India. You don't need to live with them, because I think your parents living alone together will show them things that they didn't know themselves.
What if there's a situation where there is a person and they're in a relationship and that person's parents says, we have to live with you, regardless of cultural background? A lot of American families do that as well, right? Like, where they want to live with their child growing up. What do you say to that?
I think that if you want to live with your son or daughter, I think that it is a drawback to them. It is a negative thing for them, because then they don't get to live their own life. They have to live a life that you are involved in, meaning that your voice is in their ear rather than their partner, who might have opinions that differ from your opinion. And so that's just one thing that I think will hold your daughter or son back in life if you do it that way. But then, I don't know, there's like a lot to it as well.
There are many different situations, right? Like, what if the parents are sick?
Yeah.
Or like like you said, they're older, or again, there are unique situations, I think, where it's a good thing.
I think if both the spouses are aligned on it, like, hey, look, I want to live with the in-laws, then it's fine. But it is hard if one person's like, hey, I don't want to live with your parents, and the other person's like, but I want to live with my parents, that makes it really hard. And you probably are going to have to side with the first option, which is I don't want to live with them. So like, you got to make your spouse happy. You can't just, that's a hard compromise. That's a very hard compromise.
Yeah, that's a hard conversation too, because you take it very personally when it's your own parents because you love your parents, right? Yeah. And so if the other person were to say something like, oh, well, I don't like that they do this, you're like, well, what do you mean by that? Because you inherit so many traits from your parents, right? And you could think, oh, well, that's offense to me because maybe I do that and you don't like that.
I think the American way, though, is like once you're married, like your parents are another entity at that point. There's your family, which now include you, your wife, or you and your husband. And that's your family. That is your family. And then your parents come into the picture, but they're technically under whatever your family is. Whereas in India, it's a different structure where it's like the grandparents and the grandparents, the parents, and the parents have the kids, and the kids get married with their spouses. They stay in the same. It's a whole different structure.
Gosh, yeah. It's relationships in life that I don't want to say they complicate things, but just having other people in their own situations, right? And trying to work with that is complicated sometimes. Yeah. Meshing your world with somebody else, and it is just complicated. But that's what is life. Such is life. Life is beautiful. Yeah, but that's what makes it beautiful too. Because if we are just alone all the time, I think about that. Life really isn't that hard. Relationships. Wait, no. What is it? That's not the saying. Relationships are hard. Life is not. So it's the relationships with people that make life beautiful, but they also make life harder. But then you learn from things.
Wait, isn't it relationships are hard?
Yeah.
You said
wait, did I? No,
relationships are not hard. It's life that's hard.
Yeah. Yes. I said one of them the first time. I messed that up for sure. So don't listen to me. But that was correct, Suketu. Thank you very much. Next.
All right, number 7.
It's your wedding. Not the guests. Invite who you want and not who your parents want.
This is a big one. I see a lot of TikToks about this, about how my parents want me to invite these many people. I've never met them in my life. And you just gotta like stand your ground. Now,
you do.
There is a downside to this. If your parents are the ones paying, then you know what? You're gonna have to listen to them at that point. That's their money. If they're paying for it, if you're paying for it, hell no, that's not happening. All right. This is your money that's going out of your pocket. You're not paying for some random person that you've never met before. I don't care if they're family. All right.
Uh-oh, that's an unpopular opinion.
Yeah, no, it's a popular opinion in my head.
What do you think? I know so many people who don't have kids at their wedding.
Ooh, I don't agree with this.
Really? Okay, explain.
I love kids. I think kids add so much to a wedding, even if they're the ones like screaming and yelling.
I mean,
some people don't like it.
9 times out of 10, the parents take care of it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It just feels weird to me to not do that.
If you invite somebody and they have kids and they're like, hey, you can't bring your kids. What are you talking about? You can't bring the kids. So you want these people to come to your wedding and then have a babysitter at home to take care of their own kids. So now they're going to have to pay money to go to your own wedding. That just, to me, doesn't make sense.
Well, I don't know. See, I see it from both sides. I mean, we had kids at our wedding. I didn't mind that at all. That was never in question. Yeah. We were going to have, because there are a lot of kids, mainly in your family. My brother didn't have his son at the time, and things were different a few years ago. But now, yeah, I would say, like, even now, I would not change my mind on that.
Yeah, it's, to me, it's your choice at the end of the day. But kids, if you know the kid is like a crazy kid, for example, they're yelling, they're screaming all the time, the parents can't control them, then I get it. Okay, I get your frustration. Just don't invite the whole family at that point.
Oh, well.
To be honest.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Just take the invitation, rip it up, throw it away. That's all I gotta say. If you're not gonna invite the kids, just don't invite the family.
I do want to speak to the whole guest situation because I remember for our wedding, there was somebody that my mom wanted me to invite, and I said no. And we had a little disagreement about it. And she was like, but you have to blah, 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 blah. And I said, Mom, I'm not inviting these people. We don't need to go into the history. They are family, but I was not going to invite them to our wedding.
For you, that was a concern. For me, I just said, yeah, invite anybody you want. But all my family lives so far away and it was COVID. I was like, they're not coming, you know?
That kind of sucks.
It's like I knew who my parents were inviting and I knew who was not going to be able to make it because of how far we live from everybody. And so it's like, yeah, I invite them, but they're going to say no. So I just made that assumption and they did. No, not a lot of people from our side. I mean, there's a lot of people that came, but not a lot from the people we invited came. So,
well, I think we're lucky that we have a lot of family here in Indiana.
Yeah.
So every single one of those people came,
Yes.
which was great. But there were a lot of people in Canada that couldn't come, which was a bummer because they were really, really tough and really strict on the border situation. And that was a whole, situation. But I would say we were very lucky that we had a lot of family already in Indiana and in the U.S. in general that could make it because they were just driving. It wasn't too long of a drive, or they would have a short flight, and it wasn't anything too crazy. It was 2021. So,
it was a wild
good.
time.
Yeah, I remember, little side note, I remember we originally wanted to have our ceremony at the Hindu temple, and they're like, you can have how many people?
50 people.
50. And we're like, do you know how big our families are?
We invited 300.
Yeah, 300. No. Technically, we could have, but we would have had to limit it so much it wouldn't be fun.
Mm-mm.
Like that would have been stupid. So I'm glad that we didn't do that.
Number 8, you don't need to be a doctor, engineer, or lawyer to be successful. This is a no-brainer. You know, as a Gujarati, you do not. Okay, you just have to have a business. You can have a motel.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But now you are a businessman.
Yes, I am. So I'm just saying, it's like you don't need to be a doctor, engineer, or lawyer to be successful. I think a lot of families will put that pressure on you because they spent a lot of money to come to the U.S., right? They want you to succeed in life. They want you to not be an art major. They don't want you to... I'm just being honest. Like, they don't want you to be an art major. They don't want you to go into...
Oh, well, you wanted to be a film major.
I wanted to be a film major.
What did your
and guess
parents
what?
say to that?
They were like, hell no. They said no. I got into USC in California.
That's crazy.
And it was for film school. And I was so excited. I had a scholarship and everything. But that was a no-go because I would have to move, which was definitely a no-go. And then I would have to pay for rent in California, which is 1000% a no-go. And that was the situation. So I ended up going to a school that was a 12-minute drive from my house.
But hey, everything works out for a reason, don't you think?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I mean, it worked out very well in our favor. I personally am very happy that you didn't move. I didn't want you to go.
Now, I do think college, might be an unpopular opinion too, but I do think college is very important.
Oh, I literally thought you were going to say college is a scam.
No.
Okay.
I think everyone should go to college for the experience of meeting people, being able to communicate with professionals, being able to know what you don't want to do in life.
That last one. Do it to know what you don't want to do.
That's what college is really for. It's not really about becoming an engineer, lawyer, doctor.
It's just not about getting your degree.
It's not about that. For me,
I mean, it is, but
for me, like I've said this in so many different podcast episodes, but I got an engineering degree, but I don't like anything about it. Like there was no class that I enjoyed besides one class. I had an Indian professor, and she was the only professor to ever be like, hey, this is how you do it. This is what you need to do. And I got an A in that class because she actually cared. The problem with college professors is they don't care. Most of them do not care. They just have been working there for 10 plus years. That's why I don't care about the classes side of things. I care about the relationships you build. I care about the professionals that you meet outside of the college. And you get to find out what you don't like.
See, I will say a couple things. One, there were a few professors in college that really changed my life.
Yeah.
That I absolutely loved. One of them, he was my first ever college class ever. He taught Chem 101, Mr. Anlicker. Oh my gosh, he was my favorite, man. He made class so much fun. Him and a couple others, but then the other professor that I had, My degree program from IUPUI was very, very small, and there were about 7 of us, and we had the same professor for 3 of my 5 classes, and he was, oh my gosh, he was amazing.
Yeah.
Dr. Fidel, huge shout out. I love both of them. They changed my life in so many different ways. But I also want to say that if you are somebody that didn't go to college or doesn't want to go to college, and you know what you want to do, that's great. I think if you know what you want to do, then you don't necessarily have to go to college. If you know how to make it happen, if you know what you want to do,
Yeah.
to me, you don't need to do it.
Yeah. There you
I mean,
go.
for me, it was good because I didn't really have structure, and there are some people that need it, like me. But again, if you know what you want to do and you know how to go after it, then go for it.
What is number 9, Hallie?
Number 9, talking about mental health isn't American people's problems. I would say when we first met, it was really hard for you to talk about your feelings.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
It was very weird when I would tell you my feelings and you wouldn't reciprocate.
I was like,
And I
what
kinda-
is
yeah,
this
like-
girl okay? Like, why is she like confessing her life to me? And I didn't get it, to be honest.
Why is my girlfriend telling me how she feels? That's also like a man's problem,
I was
but
like-
also because you just weren't used to that.
Calm down. I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't been in this situation before. So let's reel it back.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
And then we ended up breaking up because I couldn't handle the
The feelings.
feelings.
Ah.
And
there
then
we have it,
when the
folks.
breakup happened, I was like, oh my God, what are these things inside of me?
What is going on?
Yeah, exactly. And so I felt things, and that helped me realize that I do have feelings and I do need to express my emotions, and I need to cry sometimes. I need to make things more well known between me and my partner, which is Hallie Patel now.
Would you say that you talked about feelings much growing up?
No. I did not talk about feelings very much. I think it really hit me after we broke up, for me to understand what my feelings meant to me. Even like growing up, I didn't realize a lot of the things that were going on in my head, whether it be like me feeling lonely, because I was a lonely kid. Like that was for sure. Like I didn't hang out with people until high school. So imagine going from 1st grade to 9th grade without hanging out with anyone at anyone's house. The first time I spent
Loser.
the night. Wow. Look at that.
Baby, I'm
Hallie's
just kidding.
building new trauma.
Stop it.
The first time I hung out with someone outside of my own house was in 9th grade.
Oh my gosh.
The first time I
You're
ate
like
out.
so behind.
The first time
in
I
the
ate out
social world.
at a restaurant with people other than my family was in 9th grade.
Where was it?
At B-Dubs
Oh my
with
gosh.
my track team.
Oh.
That was the first time I ever ate out with a group of people that was not my family.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
So
You're so behind compared to where I was at that age.
I definitely think that it was just hard for me to like deal with feelings in general, because I wasn't surrounded by enough people who did that kind of stuff. Does that make sense?
You weren't surrounded by people that did fun social things?
No, I wasn't surrounded by people who talked about their feelings, because I was never around long enough to
Gotcha. Okay.
get that deep with somebody.
Okay. I'm not trying to hate. I'm sorry. I was
No.
laughing,
I get it. Yeah.
that would be so hard. I think also because I'm a woman,
Mhm.
right? Girls talk about their feelings. I think for me, I showed a lot of emotion. I didn't necessarily understand it.
Mm.
Does that make sense? Or I
Yeah.
didn't really talk about it. Like I'm thinking about my childhood. I'm thinking about when something maybe sad would happen. I would cry, but I didn't really know why.
Yeah.
Does that sound kind of like, does that
That's
make
pretty
sense?
normal, I feel like.
I mean, obviously when you're a kid, you don't really try and understand your feelings too much. I didn't really have people telling me, why are you crying? Like, what does this mean? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I didn't really,
Yeah.
I didn't challenge myself to think about that. But now I really, really think about why things affect me the way they do. I would say I'm a very emotional person. It's pretty apparent on my face too how I'm feeling about something. It's really hard for me to hide that. I've always been an open book, especially on my face and my body language. It's been hard for me to hide how I feel about things my entire life. So I don't know. It is interesting to hear you say that because I also don't feel like I fully understood my feelings about things until I got older, until I really got in our relationship. And if things would happen and I'd have a certain way of feeling about them, then I would understand, try and challenge myself and ask myself, why do I feel this way? But I think that is just really a sign of when you're getting older and maturing that you really start to question your feelings. But that's not to say that your emotional maturity wasn't there. It was. It's just you, again, didn't really know what was going on because you hadn't ever really talked about your feelings growing up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. And I guess to like bring it back to this being like it's not really a Desi problem, but just us being not able to talk about feelings with our parents. That's the big one. I don't know a Desi person who, maybe like one or two that I know now, but that like talk to their parents about like emotions. Like, did you go to your mom and be like, "Hey, I'm sad. Can we talk about it?"
I mean, yeah.
You did.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
never did that. I would just bottle it in my body and then let it explode when I met Hallie.
Can I say that's definitely something that still unfortunately affects you, which I hate that for you. I really do hate that for you because it must be so hard.
Yeah.
And you're not even doing it intentionally, but I think for you and what I see in you is that you let things build up so much to when they get to a breaking point, then you let it out.
Yeah.
And you're not trying to do that. It's that you don't necessarily notice the signs until it gets to be too late.
I agree with that diagnosis.
Is that hard?
Yeah, I think for me, it's really about how do I talk about it? That's like words, for example. What words do I use?
Yeah.
How do I express this in a way that makes sense, not only me, but you as well? Makes sense.
Yeah, and if you don't have practice with that, really, if you think about how you've stepped into that and the last however many years, I mean, think about how long, it takes practice to get good at, to talk about how you're feeling. It sounds silly, and people listening to this might be like, what? But if you're somebody who didn't grow up talking to your parents about your feelings and you just bottle them up and you spend most of your time alone and you don't really go out in social situations and settings and you don't have friends to tell these things to, and then you have one person in your life that you open up to so much and you still have a hard time telling your feelings to that person, you don't have as much practice as you think really exploring those and being able to explain them to somebody without it getting to a point of a boiling point, and then you explode and release everything, and then there's not really much talking. It's just anger and emotions and craziness.
You know the people who are good with sharing their feelings, emotions, and the people who have never done it in their life. Like it's very apparent, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, would you say that you now have an easier time expressing your feelings to me and everyone, or just me or your parents?
I'm definitely better at like expressing my feelings. I'm not afraid to tell people how I feel, for sure. That's something that I'm very certain on. It's about how to tell them in an emotionally responsible way. I think sometimes I'll just like say something
very blunt. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is honestly, okay, here, I wish I was like that more, because I have no problem telling you how I feel about things.
Yeah. When you should have a problem.
No, but I'm saying I wish that I could tell other people in my life how I feel about things without worry of it hurting their feel. Like, oh my God, I hate this so much. But being such a people pleaser, it's so hard to actually tell somebody how I'm feeling about something. I do, but in my head I'm like, oh, and I know everybody freaking relates to this. Oh my gosh, what if it's controversial, or what if they think different about me, or what if they don't like me anymore? Like, I think that's just experiences with some of the friendships I've had, that like they won't like me if I say my opinion about something. But I also have to realize now that people are more mature and they can handle having a conversation about something. I think it's just past traumas, honestly.
I can't relate to Hallie in that specific situation.
I'm becoming more blunt. Hopefully. I don't know. Do you think so?
I think so. I hope
so.
I hope so, for sure. And this next one goes along with that, which is parents using the phrase "log kya kahenge." This is in Hindi, and then in Gujarati is "badahu ke hai." Those parents are not the villains, okay? They're the victims.
What does that mean for people that don't know?
log kya kenge, meaning what will people say, or badahu ke hai, meaning what are they going to say. Like this is something that parents will say a lot. It's something that I think has been built into the vocabulary of Indian parents sometimes, but they're not saying it in a negative way. I think they have been indoctrinated. Is it? How do you say it?
I'm sure.
Something like
Go
that.
with it. Yeah.
They have been instilled with this specific phrase their whole life. They are the ones who have to live a perfect life because they have people in their lives who have told them that. And I think that they're the victims in the situation. Like they haven't experienced what it's like to not care about what other people might say or think or do.
Mm-hmm.
And we are the ones responsible to show them that it's okay to do what you want and that it doesn't matter what people think.
It's really sad when you do meet somebody who really, really thinks way too much about what other people are going to say or think.
Yeah.
Or
just
if
like
they're gonna
you, I
judge
mean,
you.
what you just said, it's like you
Yeah.
you think about it so much about, oh, what will they say? Like, hopefully they don't get mad at me. Hopefully they don't think this is a bad thing to say. Hopefully they agree with me. Like, who cares if they disagree? That's their problem, not your problem.
I know, but it's so hard to see it that way. And I understand people in that situation because it is really like soul crushing in a weird way which people, I keep thinking of this Michael Scott clip from The Office. He's like, I don't have to be liked. I want to be liked. I need to be liked. I don't need to be liked. So I don't know why I care so much. I think if anything, this platform and social media in general has really taught me that I don't care as much as I ever thought. But I relate to that saying because it's so hard trying to live in somebody else's image because you're not living for yourself. You're living for other people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've grown up hearing that surrounding your whole life, you've heard your parents saying that, your grandparents saying that, especially when I met you and started dating you, I then realized how important image is in Indian culture and South Asian culture and how it's shaped so many people who are our age now being like, oh my gosh, well, yeah, my parents say this, my parents say that. And that goes for anybody. I know people whose parents have said that to them regardless of their South Asian or not. But it's such a hard place to be in because you're not living for yourself and you're not able to make decisions based off of what you want. You're making decisions based off of solely other people and maybe what they think is their perfect image of you, which is really messed up.
Yeah, this is a tough one for sure. But I think we're the people who are going to change this narrative. And I think social media is already doing that. Like people are starting to
Calling stuff out.
Call stuff out. They're starting to just live their life the way they want to live it. And I love to see it. And these are all the 10 unpopular Desi opinions that we have.
These are great. These
Did
are
you
great.
have fun?
Yeah, I feel like we opened up pretty well and really shared, obviously, our own experiences with these. And I hope that people get something out of this because I love this episode.
If you relate to any of these, leave a comment down below of your favorite point. That would be fantastic. Write it out. Be like, hey, number 3 was my favorite. Number 4 was my favorite. Let me know down in the comments below. Reminder, you can ask your own questions to www.halfpastchai.com. This is episode 132. And episode 135, your question might be featured. So make sure you ask us anything that you like. I am running the New York City Marathon in November of next year. I'm raising money for Team for Kids. It is a fantastic program for the kids around the United States. If you have the opportunity to donate, please do donate. The link is in the description below. And that is all, everybody. Half Past Crew, thank you so much for watching. I hope this one was a good one for you. Please like, subscribe. Don't forget to do those things. And as always, we'll see you next Monday at Half Past Chai.
Let us know if you want us to do a video. We kind of fell off about that weekly vlog. What happened to that, Suke2?
We have one, but I didn't want to post it because I didn't think it was good enough.
Oh my gosh. But how do I say it? What will people say? Who cares about what people will say? Just do what you love. Bada huke? Yeah. That's what you're doing. This is what he's doing behind the camera. Bada huke.